Charlotte is a single mom living in a trailer without running water, basic needs, access to food, no job, no car, and little monies to support her 4 daughters. The children were coming to school unclean, with dirty clothes, hunger in their belly, and stress on their minds. The mom is in an abusive relationship, and the kids often are unsure if she will be safe. That, paired with the inability to be recognized as acceptable by their peers, created attendance problems, behavior problems, and learning struggles in the day-to-day life at school for the kids. Through a program at their school, and partially funded by United Way and the Community Fund, the girls were able to come to school to get clean clothes. The clothes were washed every day and ready for them the next day. Their teeth were brushed, their hair was combed, and they received breakfast before class. They received weekly food boxes, school supplies, hygiene products, household supplies, and access to medical, dental, and behavioral care. The mother also received wraparound supportive services and was able to find a job, get permanent supportive housing, and maintained her job for the last year. According to the teachers, the girls are now increasing in their academics, a reduction in absenteeism, and their behavior has improved. This story here is a story we hear way too often from many of the organizations that come to us requesting funding. With 3,900 students homeless in the Treasure Valley, this is really common, and you don't see it all the time. The definition of a homeless child is different than a definition of an adult person that you might see sleeping at the park or holding a sign at the intersection. A homeless student is considered homeless if they're couch surfing, if they're sleeping in a car, they don't have a regular place to lay their head. These kids, their job in life at this age is to learn, to go to school and to learn. And it's not to worry about whether mom's safe or whether they're gonna get food in their belly or where they're gonna lay their head down at night. So we expect them to go to school and learn under those conditions, and it's just not, you and I couldn't perform our job if we were hungry and tired and stressed out about, you know, our the health of our loved ones. So this is something that we see every day. Monies from the community fund stay here in the community. They go to fund local programs and serve families and individuals such as Charlotte. My role here at the United Way, I work very closely with all of our funding partners, as well as about 45 volunteers that we call vision councils. And vision councils are made up of community members. Many of them are experts within the community and within their job. Some of them are retired individuals who are just passionate about the community. And they meet on a year-round basis, and their big job is to vet all of the grant applications that come to United Way in the spring. They read all the applications. We meet with all of the funded agencies. As Lee will know, we do one-on-one kind of dialogue meetings. They're looking for alignment with our goals. They're looking for the impact that program will have on the community. And they're looking for best practices and research-based evidence that their program will truly make a difference. An example of an evidence-based practice is the Housing First model. Some of you might be familiar with that. The Housing First model is research-based that shows that if an individual retains housing first, for their individual or the family, they're more likely to successfully pursue their personal goals, and their quality of life will increase. And then you can add the supportive services and the other connections within the community to help lift that person up. They are also less likely to return back to homelessness. So it's important that we house these folks first, and then the other conditions will be addressed at that point. In the spring of 2021, this past spring, the Vision Councils made funding recommendations and awards to 42 local programs from 33 organizations and schools in the Valley. This touching almost a third of our community with funding and supportive services. Those are all dollars that have gone into the community fund, and without those dollars, these grants would not go out. Some of the highlights from the 2020 funding year. In education, just over 6,000 children enter kindergarten ready to learn. Without that funding, many of those 6,000 would be entering kindergarten, not being able to recognize 5 letters of the alphabet, not being able to hold a pencil, write their name, count to 10.
And why does that matter so much?
Well, if you're entering kindergarten, you're in a deficit already from the get-go. And to be able to catch up with your peers is a real struggle. The teachers have to dedicate more time to those kids that are behind, and it affects the kids that are more ready to learn. So if everybody can enter kindergarten ready to learn, they can advance much more quickly. In health, almost 5,500 low-income children, adults, and seniors were able to assess.
Chicken
fell.
Chicken down.
They were able to access free and reduced medical and dental services. And in financial stability, almost 900 families received help accessing affordable permanent housing. Of that 900, almost half of those were people who were living in a home and on the verge of being evicted. And through our funding of some local programming, they were able to keep them housed, which is huge. If you already live in a house, we certainly don't want anybody to get evicted and then end up on the street. It costs the city a lot of money in order to, when that happens, so if we can keep them housed, that's great. So that's just some of the outcomes from the funding that we've been able to give out in the last year. With that, I will send it back over to Krista and let her wrap it up.